Yo, what's up? It's your boy Currency 365. Hope you guys are doing well. Legends never die, they stay in our hearts. If you want to support us, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also you can come down here and hit the join button under the video or in our channel section. And you can also join our Patreon, patreon.com/currency365. And we also have Cash App and also PayPal for supports if you want to sow some seeds. Peace out. God bless. Enjoy the video and keep the movement going. Legends. Bye. All right, all right. Welcome back to Currency 365. Hope you guys are doing well. All right, so the Super Bowl is tomorrow as I'm doing this video. And I did do the video on the 49ers and the death and destruction code that they are. And it's clear as day to everybody that they are death and destruction funeral code. And there's a lot of people talking about death and destruction and serious events that are going to be taking place on Earth and around the globe and in America. People are talking about New York and what's going to happen over there. There's some, and also the Iran and Israel and America and the Middle East and what's going to happen over there. And a whole bunch of stuff in California. We saw what happened there. California 49ers just made the Super Bowl and they haven't even played yet. And LA had rain and they had mudslides. And then they had an earthquake. So the signs are all around us, and things are getting very dark in this world right now, right? And people are getting pushed to the brink. Everybody can see that. So there needs to be a release, right? And this is why I call this the season of the release, right? And so let's see how it all plays out. But the 49ers are definitely coded for death and destruction. Will they win? We don't know. I'm not here to guarantee the 49ers victory. I never said that. There's consequences to everything, right? And so we're going to talk about Patrick Mahomes and the consequences of him winning and the consequences of him losing. You know what I mean? We already know the consequences of him losing is the 49ers codes come alive, right? Um, Somebody just did a video. Somebody posted in a Telegram group about somebody's video. Mike, I think I'm not sure who it was. Who was that posted in the Telegram group? The Currency 365 crew group. Somebody, I think it was Yardy. I think Yardy posted a video from My King Yeshua on YouTube, and apparently she had a dream. I'm trying to remember it now. She had a dream about the Super Bowl, but she didn't know anything about the game. It was what happened after the game, right? So after the game, you guys can go check her channel out and watch it yourself. Um, but after the game, she saw America's mourning and like hugging each other, like friends were hugging friends, and there was a big wound on America. It was darkness, and she saw a white building, like a white government building, and blood was coming out all out of it. Um, and so that was really strange. And God told her that this event that's going to happen to America is the catalyst is going to be the Super Bowl and what happens in the Super Bowl and the results of the Super Bowl. So this is going to be really interesting to see. This is going to be and so she also said that it's going to be a lot of it will be the effects of this event will be because of the rituals and the ritual stuff that they do at the Super Bowl. This is why I don't watch these stuff, guys and girls. Yeah, I know a lot about NFL and NFL players. I know about sports, but I barely watch these games. I definitely don't watch the Super Bowl. Because I watch the highlights. I watch, when people post highlights on Twitter. And I follow a bunch of people who post highlights, and I might even comment for engagement farming so I can get paid on Twitter. But I barely watch any live games because I know there's so much ritual stuff in this stuff. There's so much demonic stuff, especially the Super Bowl is going to be filled with satanic and demonic things, right? And so, So apparently, whatever rituals and demonic stuff that they're going to be doing at the Super Bowl is going to cause this event or this situation that America's wounded or Americans are grieving in darkness and some white building, government building, or some with blood coming out of it. So she saw blood spilling out of a government building or a white building or something. So go watch the video; you'll see it for yourself, and she'll tell you exactly what she saw from God and what God told her. Okay, because she has no clue what the Super Bowl is. You know what I mean? She's in Europe and or the UK. I'm not sure which one it is, but um, and she doesn't know, right? So but she didn't say who wins the game. She just said the what happens. This event is tied into to the Super Bowl and all the things that happen during the Super Bowl, right? So all the rituals and all the things that the concerts, the demonic concerts and ritual that happen in the Super Bowl will be the catalyst for what happens afterwards. So anyways, that's what she saw. Now let's talk about Patrick Mahomes because Patrick Mahomes has how many Super Bowl wins? He has two Super Bowl wins. Um I think he's been in Super Bowl three times. So he's been in Super Bowl three times. This will be his fourth time. So it'll be a fourth time in the Super Bowl. He has two Super Bowl wins. He has one Super Bowl loss, right? And he lost to Brady, right? And so, but he has two Super Bowl wins. He beat the 49ers in 2020. Matter of fact, I'm going to do a video tomorrow on 2020 and 2024. There is, it is ridiculous. It is, and somebody post that in the Telegram group as well, and I did post it on Twitter. I will do a video on that because that is ridiculous. How cool, how similar 2020 and 2024 are. Okay. Now, if everything goes to plan, then the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl, right? According to 2020 and 2024, right? Because they beat the 49ers in 2024, right? Um, and the Ravens had the number one pick. I mean, the Ravens had the number one seed as well. I believe in that year, or I think so. I think they did, and yeah, I think the Ravens did have number one seed in that year. The Chiefs beat the Niners. I have to look at the thing because there was a list of a whole bunch of stuff from basketball, football, and what was the other sport? I think hockey was on there too, and also the CV-19. Um, you know, happen, as well, and it launched on that in that year, and now they're talking about round two, another CV-19 again, So okay, so we'll talk about that to video probably tomorrow, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. But Patrick Mahomes has a decision to make, and I'm pretty sure he's going over it right now with his family in secret because there's a lot of things that go on. Of course, you guys know with the Super Bowl, there's a lot of rituals, but there's also a lot of things that scenarios that they have to be played out, and the cabal are telling these guys exactly what they should do, what the consequences are, what not consequences are, and a whole bunch of stuff that people don't see on the inside. This is why it's 2 weeks, right? It's not Super Bowl is not the week after you win the AFC Championship game or NFC Championship game. It's a 2 weeks because they have to. Number one, they have to get everything ready. Number two, they have to get all the satanic stuff ready as well. They have to get all the decodings ready. They have to get all the rituals ready, the codes ready, and they have to also script the game properly. Okay. Um, and so Patrick Mahomes, he knows that if he wins the Super Bowl, there's going to be consequences. There's going to be consequences. Remember Malcolm Butler? Some of you guys remember Malcolm Butler intercepted the pass at the end to cause the Patriots to beat the Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson had become a star, and he was dating Sierra and all that stuff, and he became a superstar, and he joined. He fully was in pledge into the Masonic stuff and all that stuff, and they always send somebody to bring you in, and they sent Sierra. And it's always a female. Usually for a male, they always bring a female to bring you in. She brought Future. When Future was coming into that stuff, they sent Sierra. They always send a female to bring you in. But either way, so Sierra got him in there, and he was getting stardom, and they were supposed to win that Super Bowl. And Malcolm Butler, a rookie cornerback, jumps in front of the ball and picks it off, and Russell Wilson was supposed to be the hero, right? They should have just ran into Marshawn Lynch, but they didn't like that Marshawn Lynch was talking about I'm only here not to get fined, and so they didn't want him to be the hero. So they tried to change it and make Russell Wilson the hero, and they ran the perfect play for Malcolm Butler because Malcolm Butler and the Patriots were studying that play all week, all 2 weeks, and they saw that play and they said, "Oh, Malcolm Butler said, oh my God, this is the play that we've been studying on film," and he jumps it, and then he catches it, and you can see the shock in Bill Belichick, the coach of the Patriots, and Tom Brady because they weren't supposed to win that game, right? And so Bill Belichick wasn't even like happy. He was like, "I'm not supposed to win this game. What are we doing?" Right? And and so Malcolm Butler becomes a hero in New England, and they won the Super Bowl. But I did tell people that there's about to be some severe consequences for Malcolm Butler here because of what he just did, right? And so what happened is when Malcolm Butler goes to the Super Bowl again with Tom Brady and Patriots against the Eagles, you guys remember what happened? He didn't play. Their best cornerback, their best defensive player, played the entire season. And then when it got to the Super Bowl, he didn't even play. Yeah, I think he played two special teams plays, and you could see him crying on the sideline. His family was in shock, and they were probably crying as well because he didn't play. Now, while he wasn't playing, Nick Foles and the Eagles had 500 yards of offense, and they were just going up and down on the Patriots because the Patriots were discombobulated because they didn't have their number one player on the field, and he was healthy. It was a shame ritual, is what they call it, a shame ritual. They shamed him for what he did against the Seattle and jumping in front of that ball and picking it off and winning the Super Bowl. So the Patriots came back to the Super Bowl and they had to lose. Tom Brady played the game of his life. He threw for 500 yards and broke all records, and but they lost, right? Um, and Malcolm Butler was shamed. He was shamed, right, to the world, and you can see he was crying and everything, right? And then he leaves the Patriots and he goes and plays for his defensive coach that left as well, and I think it was Mike Bravel. He went to the Tennessee Titans and he got a nice contract to go play for Mike Bravel, and we haven't heard from him ever again. Just like that, Malcolm Butler was a hero. Then was shamed in the world stage, and then and then got a nice contract, and then he went away. And then he went. Now we don't know what Malcolm Butler is now, right? Just like that, things changed. It was over, right? And so I'm saying all that because that's exactly what they're putting. I believe that's exactly what they're putting on the table for Patrick Mahomes during the Super Bowl. They're giving him an option, right? You win the Super Bowl, you got three rings, right? And no one can take that away from you, Patrick, right? When nobody, even if we slander you and strip you of everything you have, no one can take away that you won three Super Bowls, in your first 7 years. You won three Super Bowls in your first 7 years. You had the best start, and you had a better start than Brady, right? Because you have all the numbers, right? Brady didn't have all the numbers when he won his three, right? In the first 7 years, right? So he has all the numbers. He's better than Brady in the first 7 years. He's already top three quarterback of all time right now, right? It's him, Montana, and Brady, right? And so if he wins three, then most people are going to say he's better than Montana, right? Montana was four Super Bowls with no losses. But if you look at the skill sets, right? Patrick Mahomes' skill sets might be a little bit better than Joe Montana. But the problem is that we're looking at from right now. See, back then, Joe Montana they didn't throw the ball like they do now, right? They ran the ball and they played the West Coast offense, so it's a little bit different, right? But Joe Montana still put up really good numbers even in the era of running the ball, right? And fullbacks, you know what I mean? Anyways, but he did have Jerry Rice, the greatest of all time, right? Anyway, that is true. But Patrick had Tyreek Hill, for all those years as well. And it was good to see him win one without Tyreek Hill as well. So, but he does have Kelsey. He has two. He has two players that are going to be in the top three of their position or top five in their positions all time. Travis Kelsey is probably one or two, I still have Gronk ahead of him because Gronk could block way better than he can, right? But it's either Gronk or Kelsey for 1 and 2 tight end all time, and then Tyreek Hill is going to be in the top 10 wide receivers all time. Right now, he's on pace to be number 5, right? Top 5 wide receiver all time if he keeps up what he's doing in Miami, right? So Patrick Mahomes, played with greatness as well. Joe Montana played with John Taylor and Jerry Rice, right? Ricky Waters and well, I'm not sure. Was it Ricky Waters? Oh, I think Steve Young played with Ricky Waters. I'm not sure if Joe Montana played with Ricky Waters. Maybe he did. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Or was he on the Kansas City Chiefs when he got traded to Kansas City? I'm not sure when Ricky Waters came in there, but I remember he played with a whole bunch. He played with Brent Jones, Ricky. I think he played with Ricky Waters. I'm not sure, but either way, Joe Montana was that dude, right? Joe Montana, and then Steve Young came in. And Steve Young won a Super Bowl, and he became a Hall of Famer. So, Niners Nation, we've had it. We had it good back then. Um, so Patrick Mahomes has a decision to make here, and I'm pretty sure he's going through it right now with him and his team and everybody. They either win the Super Bowl when they're not supposed to. They're not supposed to win the Super Bowl, guys. And